Masterminds, back with what we're playing this week. So this week we are doing card drafting games, which we'll kind of explain a little bit about when we do our own individual things. We have a bunch of really cool games this week, so I hope you're excited as we are. We're going to start it off with Tom and Seven Wonders.
Thank you. So my game this week is Seven Wonders. I chose it for a variety of reasons. It's fun, and we actually have very few drafting games in general. But yeah, so Seven Wonders is a lot of fun. You're playing one of the various wonders of the ancient world. This one being Giza, and I have the Colossus of Rhodes set up in front of us. And essentially what you're doing is you're getting cards dealt. So a drafting game in general is you get cards dealt to you. You pick one, you pass all the cards to the next player, and you just keep going around like that until you're out of cards, usually revealing them in between that step. So very similar to a drafting game, you're collecting cards. Those cards are either going to give you resources, they're going to give you points, they're going to give you a war score, they're going to make a trade easier, they're going to get you science in this. All of them kind of collaborate together in order to get you victory points. And I think the last time we played, you won completely accidentally, thinking you were losing
Yes.
because you had the highest military, and you're like, the guy with science is going to win. So there's a lot of paths to victory with this game. It's not entirely complex, but it's not entirely simple either. But it is a lot of fun. If you're fans of games like Civilization, or what's the other kind of big one that's I can't think of it. Yeah, if you're a fan of Civilization, play this game. It's a lot of fun. It's basically Civilization, the board game, but not, because that's actually a separate game.
Is that a thing? Does it exist?
Yes,
Yeah.
the Civilization board game actually does exist.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, it plays like Civilization, the computer game, on a board game, and it's like 6 hours to play.
Okay, we're going to
This one is not.
Yes,
Oh, also-
Seven Wonders is a very quick game. It's really fun.
As the name also suggests, 2 to 7 players.
So I am doing Treasure Hunter. So Treasure Hunter is a game about being, basically you're kind of playing a party of adventurers to capture treasure and get the highest score by the end of the game. Of course, along the way you're going to run into goblins who are going to try to steal your goals, and all of your competitors are also sending their adventuring groups in to try to beat you there or to get the higher cards, basically. So each round, you set up the board to have random treasures. So as you can see, we've got some cool treasure here. This one's 20, this one's 16. You're trying to get either the minimum number of cards or the maximum number of cards. So your cards are going to look like this. They have, I'll just lay them out here. So you're trying to come up with groups of colors, and whoever is the highest and the lowest number of colors gets to take these treasures from the adventuring locations. So you go around the table, you draft all of these cards, and then you play them in groups to show how many you have. So animal companions double the number of points you have. There's cards like the Shrinking Potion, which removes numbers. There's the Goblin Mercenaries, which lets you pay to add more to your point. There's a Flaming Sword. There's a Sleeping Beauty Potion, which totally negates one of your cards. And these groups of adventurers will help you to win these cards. The other thing you have to do, though, is you need to defend yourself from the goblins. So you play guard dogs to defend yourself from goblins. And for every goblin that you defend from, you do not have to pay in gold to do that. And then whoever has the most guard dogs gets to take the goblins, and they're worth points. So it's kind of a fast-paced game. It's kind of a little complex, but it's really fun once you understand it. And the point totals get totally crazy. You wouldn't think that they would go too crazy, but the backside of this board is the entire point totals, and they go up into the 200s. So it's pretty crazy, and it's a lot of fun, and you kind of feel like an adventurer when you play it. It's for 2 to 6 players. It takes probably about an hour to play, but it's really fun, and it's one of my favorite games. So that is. So now with Colt Express.
We have a couple of drafting games here at the store, but
a couple of them we've also already talked about before on the show. So I decided to go with Colt Express, which is a sort of reverse drafting game, in which the process is sort of going backwards. You get random cards, and then you submit them either knowingly or unknowingly to a pool of cards that dictate what actions your characters and the other characters take. You're all bandits in a Western setting, raiding a train and robbing people and going after a briefcase that has $1,000 whole dollars in it. Gee whiz.
Wait,
Yes.
$1,000 in it?
Whole
Yeah.
$1,000.
That is a ton of money for the time period that it's in.
Absolutely. So, you choose a character, and each one has special abilities and different cards, and the different cards allow different actions. But you don't just play a card and then that action happens, because it can be influenced by all sorts of things like other people's cards, or you go through a tunnel and then nobody can see each other's cards for a little while, or you can swing to the front of the train if you're already on the roof of the train, and there's all these different factors that influence how the events go as you play. So when everybody's putting these cards down, what I like about this game is when everybody's put these cards down and formed an event pool for that specific. It plays out like a series, like an episodic sort of thing, where each round is like a series of events, and every single event that happens is meaningful. It's interesting because it could be the difference between being able to hit or not hit somebody. It depends on if there's, like, say if you rob somebody but there's no money on the floor because somebody forgot to punch another person. It's just influenced by all these different factors. It feels like a Western, which is great because there's a huge lack of Western games available, and I'm a huge Western fan, and it's totally all about that, and it gets to feel 100% right, and I love how meaningful the different events. Yes, and the cool little cardboard train. How about that?
So cool.
Actually, I'm more interested in the little doodads, like the
Yeah, the
armadillo
cacti.
and the cacti and the mountain range. Like,
Yes,
that's kind of
it is
awesome.
It comes with little pieces of scenery, but they don't do anything, but they're not really nice scenery. I believe there's also an expansion that adds things like horses, but that's for another episode.
Yes.
What, when we eventually cover expansions to games?
Sure.
That would be a good.
That actually would be a really good one. Yeah.
So, that is what we're playing this week. Like we said, drafting games. So we encourage you to come and try out these games.
We'll teach you.
Yes, we promise we will teach you how to play them. And next week we are doing deduction games.
Ooh.
So look forward to that. It's going to be really fun. We're all big mystery fans here.
Could you say it's going to be elementary?
It is.
Okay.
So, thank you for watching. Tell us what you're playing, and we'll see you next week.
See ya.
Bye.
Thanks for watching What We're Playing This Week, a wrap-up of some of our favorite games. Drop into our board game lounge at the Swansea Mall to try out some for yourself. Try out Superhero Fitness Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. for kids up to 10 years old. This class combines strength and flexibility with target practice and an obstacle course. Join us at the South Coast Game Fest, a celebration of play at our location in the Swansea Mall, April 1st and 2nd. Mark your calendars for the Dance of the Dragon Queen, Saturday, May 13th, an interactive dinner theater experience inspired by the Game of Thrones. You can see all of our upcoming events, meetups, homeschool classes, and after-school clubs at mastermindadventures.com.